Quick note, this is 100% free training today, 100% free training. If you're already really seasoned in the business, you think there's no value for you in the group, please disconnect. Don't put any bad comments. If you have no value, you think you're gonna get any no value, but just disconnect. And this is 100% free. Also, I'm not promoting doing loans without a license. So you know that if you're not licensed, you're working on getting your license. If you're gonna do loans, you gotta be 100% licensed. You gotta have your MLS. So no license, no loans. No license, no loans. But this is today's training. You can use it, when you get your license. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. And ask me questions toward the end of the training. Ask me questions. Today I'm gonna talk a little bit about everything, but mainly I want to talk about structuring loans. Structuring loans is a big thing, and also last week I just a quick note about last week. I talked about being predictable. People gotta know what you're doing, what you're gonna be doing. So you gotta be predictable in your business, especially your referral partners. They gotta know how you work, how you do it, how you ask documents to your clients, how you do your prequels. Because they will help you. That helps them prospect and get more clients themselves. So it's gotta be very, very, very predictable when you are, especially for them, because they're truly really out there. So structuring loans is something that is very simple if you start the right way in the beginning. The way that I do it, I always have the end in mind. So when I start, I'm thinking about the end, funding, clear to close. That's what I'm thinking. So the end, if you do it like that, you're gonna be successful in most of your loans, if not all of them. So everything starts with the first conversation with your clients. It starts right there. Gotta ask the right questions, and take notes. Of course, you gotta take notes, because sometimes we have so many things in our head, and we think that we even some people that are really smart, and people that are smart, people forget. Take notes, note and paper. You gotta have a pen and paper with you at all times when you're doing your pre-approvals, because you gotta ask a lot of questions, and collect all the paperwork at once. You gotta, and the way that I do it, the way that I've been doing it is like, it's one email, because that's how you start. And in that email, you're gonna ask for everything. If it takes you 5-10 minutes, an hour to put it together, take your time, but send a complete email. And that complete email is gonna help you structure your loan. The way we do it is that we send that complete email, and then with that email, it's gonna have everything. Because on the call, you already asked your borrower if they are self-employed or they work for a company. You already asked those questions. Based out of that, you're gonna ask them for the paperwork. And make sure you don't miss anything, and ask all the questions. Like, for example, if they work for a company, you're going to ask them if they work overtime. You're going to ask all the questions, all the type of incomes that there are. Bonuses, tips, overtime. You're going to ask those questions even before you ask for all the paperwork. Because that's going to give you an idea what you're going to be putting in that email. Because the income documents, You gotta become so great. I always say, you gotta become so great at calculating income. And if you miss some questions, if you don't ask the right question, you're gonna miss information. And then when you're doing the pre-approval, it's not gonna be accurate. That's why you ask, do you get bonus? Do you work overtime? Even before receiving those pay stubs, even before receiving them. Because in that email, you know that overtime you have to average it. Anytime you see overtime, it has to be averaged. So in regular time, it's completely different. So different type of incomes. So you gotta understand that, and then once you ask those questions, then you can type that email. And that email, let's say I'm your client, you're asking me, Juan, do you work overtime? I say yes. That email, that email has to go out as because you know that you gotta average the overtime. W-2s doesn't have all that information. W-2s doesn't have it. So you gotta ask for the last pay stub of 2022, the last pay stub for 2021. If they cannot get it, I'm pretty sure most of the clients can get them now. Technology is so great. Just an app or go into an email and then immediately, easily they can get those pay stubs. So you can calculate your overtime. If you cannot get those pay stubs, then you have to order a verification of employment because you need to break down that income. And that's why you ask in the beginning of the call, the first call, said, Mary, do you work for a company? And she's going to say, yes. Okay. And then, by the way, do you work overtime? Tips? You have a questionnaire in front of you, the type of incomes that there are. And then just ask those questions, and then based out of those questions that you're going to be asking, and then if she says yes to a few of them, then you got to send that email accordingly to the conversation you had. And it's one email, not multiple emails. So one email. You cannot send another email says, by the way, I forgot. It's not the right way of doing it. One email, you put the picture ID, social security card, your bank statements, your tax returns, your pay stubs, everything into one email. And if the client and your borrower works overtime, and also I'm going to be needing the last pay stub for 2022, the last pay stub for 2021, because you need to see the year-to-date income for each of the years. If they cannot get you that, if they answer yes to those questions, if they cannot get you those items, then you have to order a verification of employment. So you got to learn how to do that yourself. You got to learn how to do it yourself. And then so you can have accurate numbers. So your DTI can be okay. If you do it any other way, you're going to be off. Imagine there is declining income, and then you're giving them more income, and then you're averaging the pay stubs with the W-2s, and then knowing that there is overtime, that qualification is not accurate. It's not accurate. You can be off. You can be qualifying that client less, or maybe more. So I like keeping an eye on those things and ask the right questions. It takes a couple of minutes just to ask those questions. Is somebody self-employed? And you ask them, do you file business taxes? And if they say yes, they have a corporation or whatever type of business they have, they do file. Then you ask for the personal and also the business. Personal and business, both of them, not just one, both of them. You got to ask for both of them. Because the minute you don't, then and what about you can give them extra income? What about they have an additional income that you can use? So very important to ask those questions at all times. At all times.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, what about someone who is employed and is also running a business, and during the tax filing, the individual makes a joint filing both his personal taxes with the business taxes?
It's, you know what, if they do it, they're all going to come into one. So if it's joint, you're going to see, and when it's business, it's not going to be joint, it's the company name that is going to show on your tax returns. So it's going to show the company name. So you just got to ask them, you just got to ask your client, they understand by business tax returns. So ask them, can you email me your business tax returns if they file them?
Yeah, because I do real estate. I have a customer who does the taxes together, both personal and the business. He does that together. He declares it together with his personal working with the company.
Yeah, that's how because it's very simple. This is the way that I've been asking for so many years. There is no other way. In business tax returns, it covers all the schedules, whatever type of business they use. Because sometimes they don't even know the type of tax returns they have. Sometimes they don't even know. So if they don't know, you just gotta be, in general, like business tax returns. That's going to cover your corporate. That's going to cover like whatever 11, 20. It's going to cover everything. Because they don't know, and sometimes the loan officer does say no. You gotta get help with, a manager or somebody. So if the loan officer does say no, you're asking the right questions to your borrower. And make sure that you always say all pages. Nothing can be missed. You gotta see all schedules, every single one. Every single one. Especially when it comes to business. Schedule L, it's business returns. So you gotta keep an eye every single page of your tax returns. When somebody scans them to me, I tell you, what? Okay, so let me have them, send them to me. But can you request a copy? If the PDF doesn't come like when their CPA sends it to them or give them a hard copy, then I tell you, what? Can you send an email to your CPA to email them to you and copy me with that email? And that is okay for me to be there. Because that way you're going to get them all. Nothing is going to be missing. Remember that DTI is so important. You cannot miss, and especially you maxing, the client doesn't qualify for much, and then you're maxing their approval, like all the way to let's say 500,000, and then you maximize it to 500,000. And then you make a little mistake, and then they don't qualify. And they're already in escrow. Just imagine they're already in escrow. And it's very simple. All you gotta say is business tax returns. And it covers everything that is, and also of course you need to personal tax returns. Ask those questions and you're gonna be okay. All schedules, all paperwork, I need everything. And you don't issue a pre-approval letter until you have everything. Because what about if you're working with a referral partner that is so quick? You give them a pre-approval letter and the next day they're in escrow. I know people like that. They are so good, and then you don't ask for everything, and then you issue pre-approvals with missing information. That way I tell them it takes me a day, 1 day, for pre-approval letters, it's like a few hours. Sometimes it's like on the spot. It says, after I receive all paperwork, everything. And I copy them with the list of items with the real estate agent to it, and I send it to the borrower, copy the referral partner. And you put in the body of the email, says, you know what, I will issue the pre-approval a day after I receive all items listed below. All the items listed below. Because if you're working with an agent that puts people in escrow like this, imagine collecting paperwork like a week, 2 weeks after. The agent is doing their job, you're not doing your job. So that's how I do it, and that's how I do it all the time. So you send that email, make sure you send that complete email. Take your time. If it's going to take you an hour to complete that email, to massage and make it nice, do it in an hour. But make sure that it's complete and you don't miss anything. And then the only emails you're going to say after that one is telling them that they missed something. You send me 3 pay stubs. I see that you get paid weekly. I'm missing one. And then, when can I expect it? And things like that. That's the only time you're gonna send another email or text or however you're gonna communicate. And once you have, and you keep telling it, once I have it, that's the only time I can tell you what you qualify for. If the one numbers before you even calculated the income, and we say, you know what, I don't have anything. What about if I give you numbers 900,000, and when I do all the calculations, you qualify for only 300? You say, once I have everything, I don't even touch anything because it's a lot of paperwork. I don't even touch, as I receive everything, as we receive them, and then we just structure in the file. And when we see that we have everything, that's when we start playing with the income. And very important that you talk to your referral partners and you sit with them and you tell them, I'm at 1 day. My turn time is 1 day, or you can say 2 days, whatever turn times you're going to have. And if your buyer takes him 3 weeks to give me the paperwork, it doesn't mean that I'm taking 3 weeks. Because that's why, I see that issue so much and we look so bad, and that's because of our communication. Communication is so bad. So, and if you tell them, I'm a 1 day MLO, 1 day loan, 1 day. But that's after I receive. If your client takes them 2 months to give me those tax returns, it's going to be 2 months. Their time, not my time. So they keep referring your business. And if they don't know, if you don't explain it the way that I'm telling you, they're going to think that it took you 3 weeks for that pre-approval letter. And everybody around. And if they are a big office and they're working with teams, and then now the whole team knows that you're a scrub, that your approvals take 3 weeks. They take a month. Put it on a flyer, whatever you do, let everybody know how it's done. So, and always copy as you're receiving paperwork, and I cover all those things in my Saturday trainings. All of that information, 1 hour is not enough. So in all that information, but structuring loans, you're starting with the end in mind. When you're starting your loan, you're already thinking about funding. You're clear to your funding conditions. and sometimes there aren't any. You shouldn't have funding condition for yourself if you structure your file the right way in the beginning. So you don't surprise them or surprise anybody, and so they don't say anything. Nobody says anything. And make sure that information, that your referral partners know that information. Because they're going to go to them and says, you know what, they keep asking me for paperwork. But if you clear that in the beginning, you're going to be okay. And it's not up to me. It's not me that I'm asking you for that. It's the lender. So if you do it like that, oh, believe me, you're not gonna have any issues. Because communication is everything. Communication is everything. And if you communicate, and it's so simple to communicate. If you do it smartly and you set up a system and do it the same thing over and over and over and over, not doing it differently with every client. The one client is like this, and then all over the place. No. Find a way of doing it and do it like that all the time with every client, with every single client. Same thing over and over and over and over. Because when you grow your numbers to 3, 4, 5, 10 loans a month, now you can teach that to your assistant, and that person is going to pick it up the same way. But if you're all over the place, I wouldn't want to work with somebody that's all over the place. Like imagine, like one day is one thing, and then I show up to the office and it's a different thing. No, it's the same thing over and 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 over. Same way of doing it. Your referral partners are going to thank you for that, because they're going to know the way you work. Remember predictable last week? They're going to know how you work, and they're even going to help you expedite everything because they already know. So, gotta be so predictable. Like, you don't know how predictable you gotta be. It's gonna help you grow your business. You work with CPA letters, CPAs, your different people, referral partners. If they know how you work, they're gonna, send them this, and that. They're gonna even do it for you. They do it for me all the time. I like setting up my appointments at 10 a.m. They know 10 a.m. Oh, we'll see one at 10 a.m. They know that I book my appointments at 10 a.m. So, see, they know they can. It becomes so easy, simple, easy. Because our business is so easy, it's so simple. It's not a big deal. If you start your file the right way, this business is so simple. And don't touch. See, I start structuring, labeling, and putting, I don't know, whatever system you use, after I have all the paperwork. Because what about if I have a client that is not really, maybe not too serious, and they're not ready now? It says, and you put that in the email, but you got to be so nice, aggressively nice. And then just tell them, I don't do anything until I have everything. Because if your plan is to grow your business like to 5, 6, 7, 10, you don't have time. Imagine how long. You won't be able. You're not going to have time. It just not enough hours throughout the day. Not enough hours. But you let everybody know how you work, and you tell them, I don't want to waste your time either. Because what about you showing properties all day, month after month, and then me telling you that they don't qualify? It's so important. Collecting everything and doing everything when you're done collecting everything. And then and I'm talking about a full loan application. Not just one of those mini, open house checklist or whatever. No. I'm talking about a full. If a client is going to buy a house, they gotta be able to give me everything. If they are serious, they're gonna give you everything. You need all the employment information. You need everything from top to bottom, everything. You don't leave any gaps. And you gotta know the gaps. You gotta know all those things. You gotta know when you need something, when you don't. But that's why in order for you to learn and do this thing, you gotta repeat the same thing over and over. Don't be all over the place. And if you're gonna ask the items, your items should be the same order. Like if you say picture ID first, keep it like that all the time. Picture ID, Social Security card. Don't put, the bank statements and in different order. No, create a system so whoever you're gonna teach when you grow, they're gonna pick it up and just go with it. Systematic. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna be structuring loans. We have loans that we're gonna structure, and we're gonna show how to start them from beginning, and how and how to get CTC, like not just with one lender. Most the lender that closes the fast, who it is. It's that lender. They can give you CTCs in 8, 9, 10 days, 5, 6, 7, 10 days. Imagine if you can do that with every lender. If you're a broker, imagine if you can do that with every lender. Imagine the potential, the power. And this for you if you're a broker. Imagine with every lender, your CTC 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. Most of your files like that is because you're thinking when you're structuring a loan, when you're starting your loan, the first conversation, you're already thinking about how it's going to end. And that's what I teach in my trainings. So the 90-day course that I have, the Saturday training, send you email, connect with Danny, so we can book an appointment, so we can get you closing quick, because we CTC so quick, and not just with most of the lenders. Not only, if you're only CTCing so quick, if you're a broker with UWM, you're acting like a direct lender. Missing opportunities. Got a 580 credit score client, and then where you're going to put him? You're going to find a place to, and then now you're only used to one thing. You got to learn subjects how to be general, that you can, whatever you do, whoever is going to close your loan is going to be the same thing, because everybody requires the same things. There is no difference. It's income and assets. Nobody's, you get my point? Everybody's the same thing. If you learn a system that you can close with anybody, imagine the potential. Imagine the potential. And that's what I teach in my 3-hour training on Saturdays. And how to close your loans quick, and how to be, especially you estimates, how to issue an estimate like this. Like, we're not talking about, I mean quick and pretty accurate. So they, because when they're going to be shopping for a home, They gotta have the right numbers. They cannot be short to close. Oh, by the way, you needed 60,000 to close, and now the bank statement, the asset, they're actually 50. No, you gotta be right there. You gotta be like right there. You gotta be so professional. You gotta be so professional, and people are gonna start connecting with you. They're gonna want to do business with you. In the beginning, possibly not, but then they're gonna hear, you know what? Close quick. Wow. CTC in how many days? Wow. But that's because you're starting your business the right way. Same thing over and over, guys. Same thing over and over and over and over and over, and then continue repeating the same thing. Let me see, who can I ask a question? I see Lorraine Paniagua. How long you been in business? How long you been a loan officer?
Hi. I am a brand new loan officer.
Oh.
3 months.
3 months. Beautiful. See, this is Oh no, it's how good and if you're in this training right now and you've been in business for 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years, and then you're closing like 1, 2, 3, it's not a good thing. So 3 months is perfect because I can teach you, like how to start your business the right way. Each prospect, how to market your prospect so you can grow your book of business, and then a few years to have business coming in. Because a lot of, in a lot of cases, what happens is that, go ahead, Lorraine.
So what would be the best way you would say for us loan originators to approach, I would say, get leads? Is either approaching realtors or...
That's it. I grew my business with real estate agents. As many as you can handle. Okay, as many as you can handle. Because you gotta always do a good job with every single one. As many as you can handle only one, then service that agent like there is no tomorrow. And if you can handle 10, then service them. Don't get 15, and then your service level goes down. And then you're gonna be able to service more with more information, more practice that you have. So.
And when you say service one realtor, you mean work with one realtor at a time?
It's up to you. It's really up to you how much you can handle. If you're working with somebody that is really busy, they're gonna give you leads like all the time. And you gotta be on top of every single client all the time. And when they call you, have you called them already? It says yes. You call them before they call you. It is a lot of work, but it's so worth it. It's a lot of work after a few years. And then I work with so many agents, not anymore. Now my business, I give it to my loan officers, but with so many agents. And then, but you gotta put a system in place that you can service them all. When they give you something, you can service them. You can call their clients like right away, not just leave anybody behind. I wouldn't like nobody to do that to me. Because I'm prospecting, doing open houses, then I bring you all my clients to you, and then you don't call them. So that's it's so what you can handle. And if you're full time, you should be able to handle a lot. I don't if you're full time, you should be able to handle a lot. And it's just about being structured. To stay in business, you gotta the way that the that I'm still in business is because every client I took ran credit and took a whole loan application. With that information, I'm able to market them throughout all the time. They don't qualify. I don't ask, that's why I don't give them numbers, never give them numbers right after. I don't tell you qualify for 50,000. Give me all the paperwork, everything that I need, including the loan application. Then I tell you your numbers. Can you give me a quote? I went to see a property, 500, 600, 800,000. You know what? Right after, I need this before I can do anything.
Chantal have a question. Chantal,
you have a question, Tan?
Yes, I have a question.
Please.
Hi, Mon. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good, thanks.
My question, basically, kind of following up what you were saying, that if people were doing this full time, right, they should be able to have the time to do everything they need to do. Now, what is your personal perspective on people who are not able to jump in right now full time, right? That unfortunately is like my situation. Last year, I was all on board with wanting to originate full time, could not find what I believed would be a good sponsor, a company that would properly train me. So now the position that I'm in right now is that I'm unfortunately gonna have to work, but I still want to learn the business because I believe with everything going on right now that this is the ideal time to learn, to get these systems in place for when things start building back up. So what is your personal opinion on if people are trying to do this part-time starting out initially?
My advice for everybody is to do it full time. Okay, that's my advice. Like right after, do it full time. But whoever can't, practice, train like every day. Because when somebody gives you a client, you gotta, and if you have a job, and then you gotta have time and the information to help them.
Right.
Like right away. So a lot of training, whatever system you use to run AUS, you gotta master all those things so you can do it like in no time. Gotta know how to take a full loan application, everything at once, because you don't have the time to do it in pieces. So actually the way that I'm showing everybody how to do it, it works even for part-timers. Because you send one email and then it says, you know what, this is how I work. After I get everything, that's when I start doing all the numbers. Right after I receive everything, that's when I start doing all my numbers. And then it becomes easier, becomes a little bit easier.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But if you do it any other way, then it is tough. It's not. Believe me, because you cannot be all over the place. Especially in this business, you cannot be all over the place. You can't. You gotta be very systematic, and you gotta have systems in place. You gotta have training in place. You gotta have all these things in place so you can just and then originate successfully. And nobody's gonna know that you're doing it part-time. And the reason is because you're gonna do it so professionally. You're gonna send that email, and then the way you send it out, and even the way you send it, that's not gonna look like if you did it from an whatever. So, but you gotta train a lot. You do have to know this, but you gotta know how to run AUS. You gotta know how to have a full loan application, how to run credit, the whole 9 yards. And also, one other thing that you gotta know, that you gotta understand, is the whole point for somebody that is part-time this time is because they want to quit their job and do this full-time. That is the whole goal. That is the goal. So you gotta do a budget, and then I help my students, and they say, we gotta do a budget. See how many loans you're gonna need in order to exit, to come in full time. because you gotta know where you are, where you're standing. If you don't know, you're not gonna know. You're gonna be there forever. It could be forever because you don't. I mean, you gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. And I'll teach you all those things in the 90 days. Send your email to careers@MLO Now, and then I'll teach you all these tricks and how to CTC your files quick. And that there is a small fee in that, but whoever joins the team, it's free. And then if not, I keep doing these free trainings. See the information that I'm giving you? Just a lot of good information that you can use. And I do charge a small fee, and I do have a continuing education. It's like really affordable continuing education after the 90 days. Call us to give your numbers, but it's so affordable and it's so worth it because I even teach you how to prospect. Because I know this business inside out. And for those that know me, that come to the other, they say, I know this inside out. So connect. Send an email, send us a private message, and we'll connect with you as soon as possible. And you can get started as soon as tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be very interesting. We're going to be structuring loans and showing how you can get CTC like immediately, like immediately. And we're not talking about one lender. I'm talking about every single loan. A loan is a loan for any lender. A loan is a loan. Imagine sending it the right way all the time. And you'll see the difference in your business, especially closing quick, because it's so important, especially closing quick. You need to close quick I tell everybody, if the contract is 30 days, you go over, we're going to have a meeting to see what happened.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I tell if
I just ask because I'm with a broker, but I don't feel like I'm really being trained, and they're kind of moving too slow for me.
That what the thing is, that training is not easy. For me, it is because I've been doing it for so long. And then it's for me so easy to transmit the information to loan originator, loan officers. It's so simple for me to do it, but it's not easy. It's not easy because I know so many people that try and then just do it for a few times and then they disconnect. You know what? People are not getting it. Everybody that right now, 100%. Mostly, I have no bad reviews. Everybody learns, but it has to. You cannot miss anything. Unless something really heavy, something happened. Then because otherwise, you attend one, then you miss three, and then it's not going to happen. And I don't take anybody that is going to miss anything, even though you're going to pay or whatever. I just don't, because I know it's not going to happen. So it has to, you got to make sure that what makes sense in 90 days, I got to attend the whole in continuously. Because believe me, it doesn't work. People don't make it, and people don't make it. And this business is tough. It is, but it's easy at the same time with a lot of discipline. With a lot of discipline, the meeting starts at 9. You don't show up at 9:30, 9:45. You get there like 5 minutes before, 10 minutes. It's discipline. And if you're disciplined, just discipline the way you ask for documents, discipline about that consistency, and you make it. And it's not immediately, it's not overnight. It's not that you're gonna be, okay, so I went over, I know how to do it in 3 months, and then no, it takes time. Because now what about your book of business? And it takes about 2 years in order for you to make it. You're gonna make money in between, but it takes at least 2 years. And all the social media that you hear, I 49 loans and I did all this. No, that's just advertisement. It's not real. And you see it for yourself. It takes time. And then if you're willing to put that time, You just make it. You just make it because if you do what it takes every step of the way, I mean, there is no. You don't make it if you don't prospect, and I'll teach you what how to prospect. What to and different things. So it's not overnight. If you're gonna write it down, it's not overnight. It's not a social media post that I saw that I'm gonna make it in some people do. Some, but it's almost don't see those. It's some people do like overnight, and oh my gosh, this person closed 18, closed 24 in 6 months. How did he do it? He prospected like there was nothing to do. Went crazy prospecting. That's what happened. Prospecting. And I put together a club, the 300 club, and then just to get momentum. So it's something that we just put together and seeing the momentum that loan officers are getting. So it's all these little activities that you do in order for you to, pass through those, 2 years, doing it the right way, and then in the 2-3 years, forget about it. And then your dreams start becoming a reality because now you can, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Mostly everybody, if you talk to a loan officer, why do you close so many? Because they have a big book of business. And how do you get all this business? They have a lot of referral partners. Everybody's the same. If you do the same thing, you duplicate that, then you just. And with extra discipline, imagine extra discipline, and you don't get comfortable because a lot of people do get comfortable. Just out of a sudden, you receive 2-3 checks, $7,000, $10,000, $12,000, and then out of a sudden, then you like, I never had this money before, and then now you're taking 2-3 weeks or a week, and then your momentum gets damaged. You got to start that all over. And some people don't even get it back. Some people don't even get it back. So it's always about keeping down prospecting, and that's why I make it so simple, the prospecting. I make it so simple, so it's not a big thing, but it's something doable. Anything long-term, doing it constantly, it always pays off. It always pays off. Questions? Anybody else? Any questions? Let me see. Who can I? Audrey. Hello, Audrey. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna be structuring loans. So pen and paper. It's gonna be interesting tomorrow.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. And also, Liz. How are you, Liz? See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Liz Duran.
Hi. Hi. How you doing?
Good. And
Everyone, I just want to say, sorry, Juan.
Go ahead, please.
Go to the class. It's great. I was in the middle of the class like last Saturday. I was thinking I'm blessed to be here because I'm learning. So I highly recommend to go to Juan's class. I was in another broker before, but it was slow. And I waste like 6-7 months not learning much. So go to Juan's class.
One day, just one day, you'll see. One day
Yeah.
just one day makes a big difference. Just one day. It does. And I'm not saying it is. It's my students and everybody around me. It's not. So let's build your business. Brenda Bells. How long you been in business, Brenda? I can hear you.
Now can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. I started with the broker in October.
Mm-hmm.
I got my license last January, but it took California a while to get me the approvals
Mm-hmm.
and get them the approvals for
Mhm.
California because they're in Nevada.
Okay.
I think the biggest challenge I've had so far is realtors. They're not very open to working with new people, and they flat out tell me that.
Oh.
So
That, you know what, that it changes immediately. It changes. Tell them that you're taking my training because in 6 months. In 6 months, you're already talking like you've been in business for so many years. Like if.
I mean, I'm in every group there is that I could sign up for that I've been approved for. I've got the lingo down. I've got the CRM that I signed up for. I'm sending out requests. I'm calling. I'm meeting people. I'm working all the angles of Chamber of Commerce.
That's how it is.
The insurance agents, the divorce attorneys. I'm doing everything. And they flat out say, we have our own investment firm. We don't need you.
That's how it is. Remember that it takes at least 2 years and you gotta hang on. It's one client at a time. So what you gotta be doing is pre-qualifying clients because your client is your future business. Your clients today, right now, is your future business.
I've had 2 clients and neither of them qualified.
Good. Then you put them in your
So-
CRM and you market them, and then you gotta get more, and they gotta get more, and gotta get more, and gotta get more. And so tell them, you know what? If you have somebody that didn't qualify, let me take a look at them. And
Yeah,
now,
I'm helping with them with their credit.
Yeah.
To get their credit back on track.
There you go. There you go. And then you just keep adding more. Now you have 3 in your CRM, and then 4, then 10, then 30, then 50, and that's how it is. That's your book of business. And the more you have in there, the more you have in there, the stronger your future is gonna be.
What's the best I've seen like million CRMs. Everybody says they're the best. And I've tried a few on trial. Trials.
Okay, so CRMs, you need something so simple because what we need to do is have a place where we can store them, where you can print labels so you can mail them something. Simple, not all these gadgets or all these things. No, it's something really simple. Something really simple. It's not an Excel because I don't advise it. Excel is free shit. I'm talking about
it doesn't work.
No, I'm talking a CRM and something very basic. Something so basic that you can just go and see your clients so easily. Not with all these things and then all these pop-ups and then all. No. Something simple that you can and if you can call from there, even better. But if don't, and it's better and it's best if you call from your cell phone.
An app?
No, your cell phone. Your cell phone. Make your calls from your cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
Is the best way of doing it. Not an office phone. Your cell phone is the best tool that you can have.
I don't have an office phone.
Good. So
what's a good CRM to kind of take a look at?
You know what? I don't promote any CRMs. I'm looking look for something very simple, something very basic. I'm building my own CRM, something simple. So it's in the works. Something really simple, that you can just market your client easily, and you gotta know where they are at all times.
Okay.
What I recommend because our business is so simple, we just make everything complicated, and people make things complicated. The business that you're getting into is simple. The hardest thing is prospecting, and you gotta focus, you gotta work on prospecting like there's no tomorrow. Read books about marketing, prospecting, because anything that has to do about paperwork and doing all these things, forget about it. It's so simple. Loans.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else has any question? Laura Gutierrez? No, you're fine. You're good. Okay, guys. So this is all for today, and then we're gonna have another 4-week session coming up. Just stay connected. See all this free information, so valuable. just 1 hour, you get a lot in 1 hour. Just 1 hour. Just 1 hour. Just imagine 3 hours every Saturday. I make you a machine. Like literally, you'll be so fired up. Okay. So you guys enjoy your day and see you in about 3-4 weeks.
See you tomorrow.
See you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Juan.
See you guys.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Juan.
You're welcome.